Yeah, oh, yeah, boy.
There we go.
All right, we good. Good. How you playing this bitch, bro? This bitch was just on full screen.
Yeah, but see, I can like drag. Oh, shit, okay, you put both right there.
We're just gonna do it like this. Oh, look at Eric got the merch on. Okay. Plug.
This one ain't mine though. This something cop on me.
Oh, for real? That shit. I thought that would be you. That's definitely you.
Nah, she got me this before. That's why she copped it. She's like, damn. But I'm low key glad I didn't make it now because I probably would have been in an Instagram feud with dude.
Like, oh, you copying me and shit.
I was wondering who was opening the door.
All right, well, shit, man. Thanks for tapping in with me for this, man. Being the first episode of what I like to call check-in, because I'm checking in with all my homies, my friends, seeing how they are doing during all this, panoramic, whatever the fuck I'm gonna call it. Oh shit, hold on, I forgot something.
I gotta get the symmetry right, man. The symmetry ain't right. The symmetry ain't right at all.
You at the crib in the back?
Huh?
You at the crib in the back?
Yeah, I'm right next to my room.
Oh, okay.
It was a little too dim in my room. I was gonna have it with the pictures on the wall, but yeah. I was like, nah.
Yeah, I got both my ring lights and shit set up, and
yeah, I had to get the natural light. You feel me? Damn, cup split too. Fuck. I dropped this fucking coffee bean cup, bro. Like this whole shit, like the straw broke. This shit like split, bro. This is crazy. Let's go to coffee bean.
Well, like I was saying, man, thanks for tapping in with me on the first episode. The whole idea behind it is just, I just want to have conversations with all my homies and shit, seeing what's going on, because we obviously haven't been able to really link up and what's going on and shit. So, I just wanted to tap in and see how people were doing, and then I think like one of the big things I wanted to do with this, so I think it's kind of funny, is just like talking about the 6 degrees of separation and shit, from like how everybody fucking knows each other. Of shit, and like how people, what's such and such, like, oh, well, I know him from this way and shit like that. So I think it's funny. So I want to start out, but just like going through how we became friends, because we've been friends for like 6-7 years now. It seemed like, or it's been a minute.
I would probably, I don't know, man. It might be longer than that, honestly. It might be like 11 or 12.
For real? No, I ain't been.
I'm sorry, not 11. I'm talking about 2011, 2012.
Oh yeah, it's been a minute.
It was right around like when Play was jumping, and that's when I was like right out of college.
Yeah,
and
that's another thing. Just like we've been friends through eras of shit, like real eras of things. Like you just brought up like Play. Like people watch this and we're in Cincinnati around that 2011, 2012 era. They know all about Play. Like Play was the spot where we was kicking it all the time. Like everybody in this
on a Tuesday too. On a Tuesday, bro. Like it wasn't even a weekend thing, because I barely went to play on the weekend. I probably went like once or twice, because I just got kicked out because I ain't never want to wear like a collared shirt. I used to come with like a jersey and shit all the time. So
yeah, I always wear my
Tuesday hat. was the day to turn up, and that's crazy. That was before McConan dropped going up on a Tuesday too. That's crazy.
I don't know if you were going out and did you ever go to Lunar?
Nah, bro, I've never been to Lunar. Like, I don't know why I've never been, but it just wasn't like the club and bar still really wasn't my scene. I think I was just doing it just because we used to get in there for free.
Yeah,
because we was all underage as hell too. Like we wasn't even 21 yet.
Yeah,
and with Lunar, I used to drive past Lunar and I see the lines. I see people like tweeting and Facebooking about it back then, but I ain't never go in there. Yeah, it was called something else too, wasn't it?
It did. That spot went through a number of name changes, like Cincinnati shit does.
I've never been in there, bro.
Yeah, Lunar was different. I went one time, but Play was the one though. Play was the one. I remember. I think you had told me that Like the first time you saw me, I had like the Roman numeral hats when I was doing like the 420.
Yeah, bro. Me and my boy Marcus, man. Shout out to Sebastian Briscoe. That's his rapper name. But we was just chilling in the cut, bro. And we was looking, and I think you was solo that night too. I think you was solo, and I looked up. I was like, damn, that hat kind of fire, bro. Because that was like when snapbacks was like a thing. Everybody was like on their retro shit. You feel me? So that shit wasn't really like, you feel me, around to have like custom gear at that time. For he was just doing t-shirts at that time. So yeah, we rolled up on you and we was like, bro, like who made that hat? Like that shit hard. I think it was like black and like the Mighty Ducks teal or something like that. It was something like that with the white Roman numerals.
The black.
He was like, bro, I made it. You feel me? And then I was like, bro, I think we see you around all the time and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when me and you started kicking it, bro. I told you I bought a camera and it's like, let's start shooting. Man, we shot like that next week. I think like it was fast.
Well, I think it was within the next couple of weeks. Like, because I remember it was like right after that I read into y'all at Brothers, because when we was at Brothers, heavy like standing.
Yeah, that's before I got into y'all crowd. And my bad if you hear like the planes and all that shit, all the gardeners and planes. That's wild. But hopefully you don't hear all that. But yeah, bro, that's before I started hanging with like y'all crowd, like Savannah and E-Train and Yates and all them. I was still kind of with like, well, I'm still with them. I was still with my like, you know, college group of partying friends, and we always run into my corporate family. And yeah, I think it was like that next week. I was like, bro, why the hell you in the club with bread ones on, bro? Like we had club clothes. We used to come with like, because we used to go in the club and go crazy. We used to be in there, you know, dancing, moshing and all that, come in dripping sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was in the club fresh. I ain't at that time. I ain't get it. I get it now, but I was like, what the hell you doing with like what year was those? Like I can't remember when those breads even came out besides the Black Friday ones.
Yeah, that was like
because it was like I think it was like even like either shortly before or shortly after the band ones.
They were after, or maybe I don't think it was like 2012.
And that was before ones was like the Vans for people right now. Because like people all own Jordan ones now, and I'm like, we was rocking Jordan ones like you said, like you just. Bro. Like I was just showing Kai my Xbox avatar, and he had on Jordan ones. Those from like high school. So I'm like, I don't know how this became a trend out of nowhere.
That pair, that's the pair I still wear, bro. I think they look so much better now, wearing it and shit. Like I wore them shits as snow boots for a minute.
Yeah, but you wore yours a lot, man. I only wore mine because I got like the 2016, 2017 pair. I probably only wore mine maybe. It's under 10 times. I have not worn them a lot.
Yeah, I knew when
I love yours
much. Fresh. I be damn.
Yeah, I still got mine. I can't.
I be wanting to step on yours and shit.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I'll take it. My bad. One of my neighbors bringing me a package. Hold on 1 second. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, bro. Oh, yeah, that's for V. I think I have that. It's a package for your boy V, man.
All the grab these hats real quick that we was talking about. They was right here in the stash, bro. Look.
What was it? Oh yeah, yep. That's the hat. That's the hat, bro. That's crazy. Is that the same hat, or was it just the hat that you just had like multiples?
This might have been that one. You see? Oh yeah, this one's worn. Yeah,
That's crazy. That's the hat right there, bro.
These were all just together. Remember this shit?
Yep, because I think Drowsy used to always wear that one.
They got all my fucking old shit, bro. Damn, that's crazy. Then we switched to the XX.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the one we shot in, the XX.
Yeah, and then right after we hung out, we started, because I remember you, like you said, you told me you got a camera. I was like, oh yeah, man, like, let's shoot. I want to do like a year recap of all the shit that I dropped. And I think that was after the pop-up that we did in the crib.
Which one? Which shoot?
The one that we did.
The nighttime one?
Yeah.
Oh, that one was like, that was probably like a couple months before the pop-up. Because I remember, let me see, I got the camera around like 2015, 2015, I think. I think I just celebrated the 5 years. So it was like 2015, 2014, 2015, one of them.
Right.
And I didn't know how to use the flash or nothing. And he was like, let's do a night shoot. And I'm like, bro, I just got this camera. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this camera.
I didn't even read the manual yet.
Yeah, I'm like, I got out of a pawn shop, bro. Like, it ain't come with no instructional guide, nothing. And I remember I took my ex at the time. It was like the day before. And I was like, bro, can we go take some night photos, bro? Because he booked me to do this shoot like tomorrow. I don't know how to do this shit. She was like, all right, bet, let's go. Man, them pictures so trash. I still got them too. The one of me and the tar that I did. Them shits is ass. But then I did the shoot with me and you loved them. So I'm like, all right, cool. I think I have an idea.
They turned out good. I mean, obviously, well, we still learn now, but at the time we were really learning for real. Like, just seeing how to go about this shit. We're still trying to figure it out, honestly.
It was freezing that night too, man. Yeah, I'll never forget that night. So yeah, that was like my first official shoot. I don't like guys. I think like after that, that's kind of when it took off for real. Because I was already doing like the corporate newsletter and like other stuff. But I think like just with me alone, I think that was like my first like official shoot was with you. So that's crazy.
So from there, what about it really wanted you to continue like shooting with like brands, and I think you were still shooting with corporate, and just like what about it like really ignited the passion and your drive to do it?
Man, like to be honest with you, like I always like to shoot photos, bro, because it's like, I always like telling the story because it's hilarious, but like I literally got into photography because I was trying to get with this girl back in summer camp, bro. And like I ain't even like I never did photography, I never developed film, I never did any of that. But when I joined the class, I ended up taking photos so much that it just carried on forever. So like when Instagram came out, that's when I got back into it. And then because at first it went for Droid. I had a Droid back then. I was on some lame shit. And then I finally got an iPhone. And then like that next year we did a shoot. And like from having that feeling of you liking the picture so much and then helping Matt and Corey at the time do the newsletter, it was like, yeah, this is cool. Like as soon as I did the shoot with you, that's when I started shooting for the shoe game and all that. And I'm like, okay, like this is actually like pretty fun. Because every time I did the shoot, I learned so much.
Yeah.
And I always like doing that because you work with me professionally, like with a 9-to-5 and as a creative too. And me and you both get pushed to the limit as far as like doing something that we're not familiar with. Yeah. And I love doing shit like that. So when it came to photos, working with different brands, seeing people's outlooks on what they wanted versus what I think is tight, it's always great to like work with that person to get more chemistry, learn more, you feel me? And then I'm like, fuck it, bro. Like this shit is actually fun in a good way. Because then it gets to the point where it's like people book me because they use previous shoots that I did with people like you or my homegirl Savasia or corporate or anybody. They're like, nah, I want my photos like that. Yeah. And that's what made it seem like I don't want to say I have a look, but I definitely feel like I have like an aesthetic that I do that people do enjoy. So it's just fire to see that. And then when you continue to do that, you continue to build, it just keep bringing a joy into it for real, bro. So it'll make it easier to work with people and make you look forward to booking new clients and shit. So
that's what like I've not even just because we're homies and shit, but I've always enjoyed like your photos and everything. Your eye is very unique. And like every time I see your film, like, damn, I kind of want to get that shit framed. Like if I could, I would get a lot of your for real, like real talk.
I'm about to say that. Like I appreciate that.
It's fresh as fuck, man. Like,
yeah, I appreciate that for real. Because I mean, I'm not in my room, but you already know I got one of the pictures I took for you on the canvas too, and that's like one of my favorite pictures ever, bro.
That shit's super hard.
Yeah, that's honestly that's one of my favorite shoots, bro. It was a very fun day that we made out of that photo shoot too. So I feel like every shoot I do with you is like I learned something new. Like when I look at like our first shoot, because we do like 4 or 5 shoots now. We've done quite a few. We've done because even when I see like our shoot compared to what we did with Cass in Santa Monica, and then I see the shoot that we just did like in what was that, June or July? Like I see the growth.
Yeah.
And it's like I just think that's fire to see to not only help your homies brand out, but to give your homies such good looks for their product.
Yeah.
It's like I'm helping you be like a better company, like better visionary because you're like, damn, like
Yeah,
if
it goes both ways, and that's why I'm never like hesitant to shoot with you, because even when like we'll plan something out and nothing has ever just gone to plan.
yeah.
It's always happened, but we've always made the shit work, and everything's always
Yeah.
come out really, really good. Like I've always been really, really happy with the results of everything, and I think that's really a testament of us being able to work on the fly, but also just your eye and your skill as a photographer, and just being able to see something different all the time, and then continue to progress with that. It's like when I look at your old work, I can see the trajectory. Also, I see from where you started to where you are now and where you're going. It's like,
yeah.
my dude's actually killing it, and he's been killing it for a while. But it's always been very like steady growth too at the same time.
I just love it too because like I feel like every time I do shoot with you, we figure something out each time. Because it was kind of like when we did the shoot at the baseball field. And I was like, bro, I just bought like this reflector, man. Let me use this real quick. And all of a sudden I hit the reflector and you just pop. And I'm like, no. I'm like, bro, hold on. Like,
that
yo,
was crazy.
Yeah, you feel me? Just like this, the time before that, when we was in Santa Monica, I remember like Nicole pulled up and stuff, and she showed me how to do something on the camera too. And I'm like, yo. So it's like every time we do a shoot, I learn something. Just from like the first shoot when I finally learned how to use flash and all that stuff like that compared to the flash, what I did with like, you know, recent parties and stuff. It's like, bro, like if it wasn't for shoots like you, I wouldn't know how to do certain things I do. So I don't think people realize like when they book me, I'm also still learning and still growing too. And every shoot teach me something new than the last. I think people just book me and they like, oh, he a photographer, he'll take the pictures, he'll, you know what I mean? That's all he does. It's like, nah, bro.
Right, no.
Little do y'all know, this is like an exam. Each booking is like an exam, and you showing all your skills on this test. And when you send it to your client for the final one, you gotta. It's just a different like stigma behind behind somebody who get a free shoot compared to somebody who paid. A free shoot, they ain't gonna complain too much. They're like, whatever, it was free. But if you paying me, you're gonna want like a paid product. You're gonna want like a legit, you feel me, like centered, Instagram ready, already edited for you type thing. So, like I said, if it wasn't for shoots like you, bro, I'd probably still be like I'd probably still be like 2-3 years behind, honestly. So,
well, I appreciate it. I've been able to help you, and I appreciate you helping me as well, man. It's definitely a team effort.
Yeah.
When it comes to like shooting with brands and stuff, what do you have a preference of, you know, like do you rather shoot like shoes, like sneakers? Would you do clothes? Like do you have a preference or anything that you prefer to shoot?
I always prefer to shoot people. I love doing detailed shots though. Like I'm really good at it. But I just love shooting people like portraits and stuff. So if I'm doing like a brand, I love when people like rocking the clothes because I feel like that's what brings that like shirt or shoe or hat alive because like you putting a whole look together. You feel me? It's kind of like how your outfit is right now. If you was to just have a picture of a hat, they'd be like, oh, that's cool. But when you put the whole
The whole fit together,
the rocket, yeah. So I always enjoy that. So anytime I get paid or booked, even if it's free, I enjoy to have it to where like that person wearing it brings those clothes to life. So I can do detail shots, but I'm like, anybody can do detail shots. You feel me? Like I don't think there's a real skill in doing detail shots. All you need is just a camera that can zoom in. So it's like it's not like it's really not anything too crazy. You feel me? I can literally give anybody my little Leica camera and you can take that same photo. But the fun part about doing those detailed photos is doing the editing process, being able to crop out what you really think will pop out. And I think that's what separates the men from the boys is editing because like I just told you, anybody can take a picture, but when it comes to editing and the composition and stuff, that's when you really see who is about it.
Yeah, that was a point I was also gonna make. Like I feel like every time that I've shot with you, well, personally, I know every time I shot with you versus when I see like your other shoots, when you edit them, I think you really take very like good consideration into the colors, the background, and cleanups of the shot. Like you really put in the effort to make sure that it's a very good photo and it's ready to pose.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that for one because I feel like every time I edit a photo, I feel like this is how I would want it to come. and I always added them strong but light at the same time. Like when I'm thinking of strong, I like to bring the person out. Like I like to show the texture, show how sharp it is. But when it comes to like the lighting and stuff, I just want to make sure you stick out. So like you the main thing. When somebody's scrolling through IG, I want them to stop. Like, oh, you feel me? Like you right there in the center. Kind of like that picture me and you took when we was at the block party, the Juneteenth block party. Like that's a perfect example of just like making sure that person is the star of the whole shot. Because it's a bunch of noise in that shot. You got like a ice cream truck behind you. You got like people walking around you, but I want to make you pop out more. And then as soon as we posted it, like A4P and all, I'm like, yo, when is he dropping that shirt? This shirt hard, blah blah. And I'm like, this is what I feel like photography should be. You should be able to definitely make that person your canvas and make them pop. So
this shit, bro.
You edit stuff like that, yeah, that one right there, bro.
Crazy.
Like that one. So it's like that's the photo, bro. You get the whole fit, and that's the reason why I bought that camera too, is for flicks like that. Because
keep on, my bad.
Oh no, that was it. No, that was it. I was about to just keep rambling on.
Another thing about this photo is like all the angles and everything, just it all fucking just comes together, bro. Like that's like crazy. This is another one I would like to have framed. Like that shit.
Because I'm working on a just a spoiler, because I'm working on like a book for 2020 right now, and like for 2021, I'm definitely doing a magazine. I'm doing my first magazine, so it was definitely going to be a lot of photos from 2020, just to kind of like showcase that. Even though like 2020 was a circus or roller coaster, whatever you want to call it, there was a bunch of like good that still went on through it, and a bunch of my friends were definitely able to shine throughout this year too. So I definitely want to highlight that along the way. So
that's an idea that I've had as well. Like I always want to do a magazine or a book of something. A while ago, probably like a year and a half ago, I was actually talking to James. Shout out to James about that. We never did it. So
Wilson?
Yeah. My God. So now we can keep talking about the photography stuff. You mentioned that you shot for the shoe game, your corporate. Through that whole timeline of things, have there been any other like websites or publications that have wanted you to shoot for them, or have you done anything else?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because I did a lot. I'm gonna just say my favorite ones. So just like you, I remember when I first moved to LA, I was shooting for, what's that weed place called? Out of my website. Man, I can't even remember. But I was shooting with them for a minute. What is it called? Weed Leaf?
Weed,
something like that. It was something, bro. I can't remember what it is, man. It's on my website, but shooting for them was fire. Because that was my first time really being able to shoot like detailed products and weed products. I should probably drop some photos. I never uploaded any of those. Urban Leaf, that's what it's called. Urban Leaf. It's in San Diego and stuff. Shot with them. Shot with you, Shabroni, Shabroni jeans.
We have which brand of his? You have 15 of them.
Yeah, I got to shoot for one of his.
Shout out to
16. Actually, I shot for his most recent one too. Let's see, Complex.
Yeah.
Complex, Agenda.
Another good story too.
You said what?
It's a good story.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell it though. We gonna leave it in the past. Let me see. Websites. Damn, bro, it's so much shit I can't even remember. And I just did stuff recently, and I can't even remember honestly until somebody say like, "You did that?" Oh yeah. Oh, my homegirl Rachel did her Bad Girls thing. Them shoots with fire. This my brand, of course. I'm trying to remember my whole like thing.
I thought you was about to say La Roses at one point. I was like, "You shot for La Roses?"
La Roses, bro. I would love to shoot for La Roses, but that'd
be crazy.
And damn, bro, I can't even really remember. But it was some other brands that hit me up recently to do some shoots with, but they were like up and coming brands, so it's pretty cool. But thanks to COVID, I really haven't been able to meet with them because it's been like some money issues on their side and stuff, so we haven't really been able to get anything to go. And so we still figuring that issue out. And then a lot of stuff I'm under contract with. I can't even say because they ain't even posted nothing yet. So I can't even say nothing about some of those sites. But oh yeah, and OnlyFans. I'll be doing the OnlyFans, bro. That'd be
shout out to the OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'd be
I was
shooting
gonna see if you wanted to shoot mine, but you know,
be doing that. Damn, bro, it'd be so much stuff I'd be shooting for, bro. Not to like,
good,
gloat, but more of a pat myself on the back.
Yeah, that's good. Because the next thing I was gonna ask you was like, you know, we both obviously took the jump, moving to LA. We took the risk. We bet on ourselves to fucking do it. Coming to LA was one of the best decisions I made, and I think over this last year or since COVID, it's really been a blessing for me to like be able to refocus and get right back into the shit that I really, really want to fucking do.
Right.
But for you, I mean, you've been like consistently shooting this entire time and whatnot. But like, what was it about coming to California? Or like, what made you want to come to California? And since being here, what's been, you know, your feeling about it, and how do you like feel about the leap that you made?
Man, I feel very satisfied, bro. Like making that leap was I don't want to say the scariest thing, bro. I think that's just because I wasn't scared at all. I was more like anxious for what's next. So like just packing that car up and moving, it was sad. You feel me? I cried my ass off.
Sure.
But I think I was doing the right thing though. And I think that's the reason why I was crying, because it was kind of like I was finally letting go of Cincinnati and finally like searching for Barnsey, searching for me. And it wasn't like me depending or wanting other people's help. It was like, nah, like this is just me. I'm doing this on my own. So, driving across country with my dad, that was like the first thing that showed me I'm doing the right thing, because he never seen a country like that. That was me and his first time. And of course, my dad's a lot older than me, but just giving him that experience of like seeing so many like shooting stars, seeing like Vegas for the first time, I mean, actually like doing that made me show like, okay, maybe this is the right thing that I'm doing. So as soon as I moved in, because I moved in with you, UNL too. As soon as I moved in, I started getting to work. So like I said, I started shooting for that weed dispensary like 2 months in. You somehow wiggled in to get me the complex deal, like not even a month. That was like 2 weeks later, because Flaw
Yeah,
was like a week or two after I moved in. So yeah, as soon as I got in, I hit the ground running. So I'm like, okay, obviously this is it. You feel me? So I can't pussyfoot at all. And it's been like that since that day. And every day, bro, I'm like on Instagram and I'm reaching out to people, and people like you and Matt from corporate, Kendall, a lot of y'all throw oops. And every time y'all do, I'm like, bro, I'm about to go crazy. You feel me? Because it's kind of like they put so much word in for me. I can't disappoint. So as soon as you threw that oop for Complex, me and Tasha Blue cool. I think we still cool. I don't know. I don't really text her that much anymore though. But she still hit me up for things. She landed me the Agenda Fest thing and all that. She reached out to me. She's like, oh, I just lost your number. Actually, I had to search for your Instagram. We need an extra photographer. So it's like, bro, like I've done so much great work. I've worked with so many of my idols since I've been here in such a short time, where it's crazy to think that like in 2015, 2016, me and you sitting around at Macaroni Monday and Keystone talking about, bro, I can't wait to work with Dom. I can't wait to work with this person, that person. I can't wait to be on this. And it's like, in that short amount of time, we all here. You feel me? Like you got some of your idols wearing your shit, and I'm taking pictures of some of my idols, and it's like, it make you want to tear up every time you think about it, because you're like, bro, I literally remember tweeting this out. I literally remember telling my brother and sister while I'm listening to like West Side with Love 2, where I'm like, bro, I got to work with this dude somehow. And now all of a sudden they get to the point where he, fucking with me. Like, so it's like, bro, like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So moving to LA was definitely, I'm gonna say top one choices. I don't think I made a choice better than that, honestly, of my whole life. So
it's so easy, yeah, like you said, just thinking about all those times that we spent at fucking Keystone for Mag Mondays, talking about everything that we wanted to do. Me, you, AP, Steve, E, Wavy. Shit, I think Marcus was there a couple of times. Like,
yeah.
Dylan, like everybody that were in there all wanted to fucking do something. And it's like, we put in a plan, we talked about it, and then we just fucking did it. Like AP dipped out and I dipped out shortly after AP. Then you came out.
Yeah, I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm like, y'all not about to cook, and I'm about to just stay here and keep dreaming. Like, nah, I'm leaving too, bro. And I always think of that day too, because I remember when me and Atari was out there for Flog. No, was it Flog now?
The first time it came out?
I think so. It was either that or it was the time I came out for E3. That's what it was. I came out for E3 in like June.
Mm-hmm.
It was June or July. And I remember I was like, Brian, I was like, can I move upstairs in the room? He was like, fuck that, let's just get a house.
Yeah.
I was like, we always did, so you want to get a house out here. I'm like, bro, let's go. He was like, nah, I'm serious. Let's go. Like our lease about to be up. Let's dip.
Yeah.
Bro, that was like June or July.
You ate my edible Cheetos.
I still owe you them edible Cheetos. They would stale anyway, man. We was at Roscoe's eating stale Cheetos. So I do owe you some Weetos.
We had talked about getting a house because I was like, that would be the perfect thing. We just have a whole compound. Everybody working this shit. Like,
and that's still the goal, honestly. That's still the goal, bro. Like that's literally still in the works. Like that is not a forgotten thing.
Not at all.
But the fact that you and L2 was so open, you like, nah, bro, like legit come. Like it wasn't no backlash to it. And we found a house like that next month. We literally found a house the next month, bro. 5403 Newcastle Ave, man. Apartment 59. Yeah. What's funny is I just saw that on Zillow, the same apartment.
I didn't use the pictures too.
Yeah, they used the same pic. They changed the stools though. The stools was different. I'm like, nah. And like just from that day, I remember like L2 sent the video of her doing a whole play. I'm like, bro, this is real.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I'm like, bro, I say I sent y'all my last savings. I had to sell like a whole bunch of shoes and clothes that I stacked up, put in my 2 weeks at AT&T and left the next day. I didn't even do this whole 2 weeks. I was dipped.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like I think about like, cause I have a good memory, you feel me? And I remember all of that shit vividly, bro. Like I never forget that E3 trip, just going to like Shoe Palace parties when they had like the Tupac movie coming, they had lowriders and all the homies like, bro, you need to come out here. Like this you. And I'm like, they was right, bro. They was right. Like this is me.
For me, LA was always a place where I wanted to be because personally, I never really felt comfortable in Cincinnati. I didn't feel like it was, even though it was home for me, like I'm proud to be from Cincinnati. I love it. But it never felt like it was home or I was supposed to be there. It didn't feel
bro.
like I was gonna like grow. So going to school, coming back and starting to do everything, I was like, man, like LA. When I've been to LA every 4 years since I was 16. So taking that final trip with me and L2, and it was her first time out here too. And like just seeing everything like as an adult now in the years that I've been out here and coming into my own life, figuring out this shit I wanted to do. It's like, yo, fucking do it. And then she moved out like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I'm about to say because when I first came out, it was for Coachella 2016, and I was so happy there. And I saw y'all, only got to see y'all for like a quick like 5-10 minutes. But to see y'all energy, it was you, L2, and Savannah, but to see y'all energy compared to when y'all was in Cincinnati, I'm like, bro, like
it was different.
The whole plane ride home, I'm like, bro, like this ain't like just going from happiness back to like sadness. That's why I left that next year, bro. That's crazy. So
it seemed like everything from moving out here and then going back home, I feel like everything back home was just so dull. I needed that fresh energy because everybody out here wants to do something. Everyone out here is trying to fucking finesse something, hustle this, that, and the other, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And everyone's trying to do it. So it just brings that hustle mentality out. Like, shit, I gotta, make shit shake for real because everybody's making shit shake. Like, you see what you want on one side of the street, you see everything you do on the other, and you don't want to be on that side. You want to do this shit.
Exactly. Because I remember J-Mac told me, he was like, bro, when you move out here, just to let you know, he's like, that first 6 months is going to be trash, but you going to find multiple hustles. Yeah. And he was like, all of us do multiple things. Like, we not just working. Like, we doing this, we doing that. And I don't want to say that kind of scared me, but I'm like, damn, what can I do then? You feel me? And I always was doing photography anyway, but I'm like, I guess that can be like one of my hustles is to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I started to really create, that's why I call myself the young Jamie Foxx now, because that boy can do anything. And that's how I feel now. I'm like, I feel like I can do more than what I'm capable of. Like, I feel like I can do photo, I can do like illustrations, I can do like drawings, I'm practicing video, I can help people with their social media and stuff. So I'm like, I feel like that's what that is, bro. And I feel like LA brings that out of you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Cincinnati, they just
do what you do.
And I think that's what everybody's hometown, but I just feel like with Cincinnati, they don't want you to be great because they kind of like, we already have someone who does that. And they just use that one guy. But in LA, they like, oh, you do that? Like, there's so many screenwriters and photographers and models, and everybody got a brand but it's just like what separates you is the passion behind it, because there's so many people that fall off from doing it and they switch and do something else. Yeah. And they do that, then they switch and do something else. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You just experiment with yourself. But I feel like when there's people that's passionate about stuff, for example, like your brand, you more passionate for making clothes than I am. Like, that's why I just call mine merch. Because I feel like it's kind of an insult for me to be like, oh, this is my brand. And it's like, nah, you eat, drink, and sleep designing. I just make stuff that I feel like is cool for the time. And that's why I just say it's merch, because I feel like if you go to like a concert, you get that tour merch. That tour merch revolves around what that tour is. So when I drop my merch, I feel like my merch revolves around what I'm doing at that time. Yeah. So you will stick with fashion a lot longer than I have. I always made t-shirts, but I've never been like a fashion dude. And it's the same thing with photography. Like if somebody was to get into photography, that's why I usually just say I'm like the photo guy, or I like taking photos, because I don't want to say I'm a photographer, because even though I'm passionate and I love it, it's still that one dude that's like more determined and eats, sleeps, and drink cameras and knows every description. And I'm kind of like, okay, you deserve the title of being a photographer, because you can say some stuff and it'll still puzzle me. Like, oh, you got the DSPI with the F. I'm like, bro, what you talking about, bro? Can the camera take a picture like this? That's all I care about. So I feel like that's what my passion is with photography, is just being able to create a look just from you. But I'm not like that in deep specs guy. Like, if you want to know some shit about specs, don't come to me, because I don't know what you talk. I don't know what you talking about.
I don't know what that is, bro.
I don't know what it is, bro. I know the body. I can tell you a good body and lens combo. I can tell you that, but I can't tell you. Like, when it comes to numbers and all that, I'm confused, bro. So don't come and tell me what's a good resolution with this and that. I'm like, bro, I don't know.
That's how I feel a lot about with like clothes, because circling back to what you said, people would always ask me like, oh, how do you feel about, like, what if I started a brand or I want to do this? And man, the first thing I would tell you is it's hard as fuck, and only do it if you really, really want to do it.
Yeah, bro.
There's a difference between, like you said, like making merch and there's, and versus what I think I'm trying to create a whole brand. Like, I'm trying to create fits.
Yeah.
And like full fucking pieces and shit that you wear together. That's why now you see, like, as I'm coming out with things from like sport and whatever, it all slowly starts to create a whole entire look of it. You can wear the entire fit together.
Yeah.
Brands. So always tell people, and don't do it to quickly get rich and make money. Do it if you want to do this shit for the long haul.
Because even with the 4 drops I did, I'm like, yo, this is stressful.
Yeah.
And I didn't even drop that much stuff. Like the first one I feel like was a fit, because I dropped like biker shorts and a shirt. But then after that, it was like, no, like this was so like, it take a lot of energy. And keep in mind, I'm still working a full-time job too. So it's like, when I'm working that full-time job, my whole mind at my job is making sure everybody is cool with the merch and the photography and stuff like that too. So it's like, when people order stuff, that's why I used to always release my stuff on my weekends that I'm off, so people can buy it and I can just ship it before I go back to work. But then when somebody buys something in the middle of the week, damn, now I gotta wake up like an hour and a half early to wait for the post office to open so I can drop these boxes off and get the work in time. So it's just like small stuff like that will stress you out, and you're not even thinking about the time in developing those clothes. Like, I've been through the only design there's only 2 or at least is where I knew the design. It was the watermelon design and then the art class rainbow design where it's like, okay, I already know I'm dropping those. Everything after that, it's like I was drawing, balling the paper up, throwing it. Like if you was looking at my iPad, bro, you'd be like, bro, how many designs did you do? Like I can text Bree right now and she'd be like, bro, you sent me like 58 designs. Like we was talking for the longest. So it's like, and that's just what like a t-shirt and a hoodie. You doing a hat, varsity jacket, another hat, like 15 shirts, pants, socks. I'm surprised you ain't did drawers yet. So it's like just and then you go to the places to feel the fabric.
Yeah.
So it's like you doing like 10 times more as somebody as I do, because I just created and I have somebody who does the product development for me. You do your own development. So it's like
that's why I tell people like this shit is time consuming. And I can totally understand the routes that everyone wants to take. But you're saying there's different parts of it, there's different categories, there's different lanes of it. So yeah, taking the time to go see what the fabric is, how it's actually going to print. How are you printing it? The materials, the ink, the amount of water that you use, and it all goes into the shit. And
crazy.
It's not conversations I've always been able to have with people. So when people bring it up, I'm like, all right, cool. So all right, at least somebody get it.
yeah. Because it's like a complete difference. Because it's a complete difference between being like just a screen press, this brand compared to somebody who, especially if you want to look in a cut and sew, that's a whole completely different thing too. So when I see a lot of brands who sell their stuff for like 80, 90, 120, I'm like, bro, a lot of these cut and sew pieces, those are, if you can't find somebody to do it, which is still expensive, and you have to sit down and do it, bro, that price is still too low to me. Like, I'm like, you should still charge more. So it's like, I feel like anybody who viewing this, if you supporting your homie's brand and you see that it's too expensive, just think of the back work. The work in the background that this person had to do just to bring you this product. So, and keep in mind, we shipping from California too.
Sure.
That ain't cheap. We losing on shipping, to be honest with you.
Like that's where my shipping at one point, I think my shipping was like 12 or 15. Like the shit is expensive, especially early COVID when you couldn't go through you.
Yeah, bro, it's a lot.
Your shit wasn't getting shipped. So
it's a lot.
Up the price, and not to mention like on my end, there is a California tax and there's a Los Angeles County tax.
Yeah, bro. You got to charge on both of those. Like, you got to charge on both of those, bro. So it's like, I don't think people that support our product realize that, because they think we making so much money off of them. You know, they sit down, they're like, oh, that's like a $10 tee. Like, oh, it might be a $10 tee, but you don't understand. We still have to pay either for us to be able to develop by getting our equipment, like boxes, tape, the shit to make the product, and to ship it out. You can't go to the post office with like 2 bags of unshipped stuff. Like the postal worker gonna be like, bro, I'm not about to do this. Like I'm not about to send out 40, 50 orders.
Post office, bro.
Yeah, you can't do that. So it's like you have to either do it on your own. You either got to go through like pirate ship or just get an account or go to the post office. And I did that one time. It was like 2 hours shipping. Bro, it's the worst.
Yeah.
And
worst trips.
Bro, it's a lot. It's a lot into doing a brand. And I feel like you have to developing like the merch that I did made me realize the work you put into it, especially people from California. My respect grown so much, bro. And for me to charge $7 shipping, because me and you had this conversation too, where he was like, bro, you could have charged so much more for them hoodies. But it was like, I was just to the point where I just wanted people to just like enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's like shipping, I think I charged like $5 or $7 on shipping. The shipping was $13. So it's like, we losing money on some of the stuff, bro. And like I said, and that's not even including buying boxes, buying tape, buying the sticky paper to put through the printer just to peel off the labels and stick it on the box. It's like, bro, all of that stuff costs, bro. All of the packaging costs. I had to pay, Savasia, because she always helped with the brand. She's sewing all my tags.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pay her for that. You got to buy tags too. So it's like, bro, like you constantly building up so many expenses that you barely in the green sometimes. Mm-hmm. So like when people do buy my product and yours too, you so thankful for it because you like,
hell yeah.
even if you know what I mean, and that's why I hate it. And I see you tweet it all the time. Don't ask for no discounts, bro.
Dog.
Especially when you don't, especially when you ain't never bought nothing. Don't ask me for no discount, bro.
Somebody was like, yo, how much is the jacket? I was like, the jacket's $220. Like, oh, can I get it for $200? No. And they're like, oh, why not? I don't get a discount. Shit, I don't get a discount. Like,
right, bro.
I should be charging like, more than $220 for the jacket.
Right.
But right now it's $220.
They think we at the Melrose Flea where you can like haggle people down for the prices. It's like, dog, this is a firm price. The only time stuff go on sale for us is if it's just like it might not be moving, or we just probably sitting on too much of it. And we like, let's just get it out. So when you make that price, I think people really need to sit down and be like, okay, I feel like y'all should do y'all Googles and be like, if I want to make a Letterman or something like that, how much it would it cost? Mm-hmm. And I can guarantee you they would never second guess that price again. I'd be like, my bad, bro.
That's why
I didn't realize.
That's why I always tell people, don't let these fast fashion brands and shit like Forever 21.
I thought you supposed to be gone. Oh man, that's my real.
Like don't let like Forever 21, H&M like teach you about prices for shit. Because that's not the real price, bro. Like,
they get that.
Denim, they're not gonna be $750. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's not real.
I don't know how they. I mean, I get it because they're a wholesaler. They probably do a lot of stuff in house. They probably charge a lot cheaper and stuff too. So they already in the green. Yeah. But it's like when you a one man band, right. And especially with you too, you probably only get help from like one or two people, and that's probably just to help you to the post office. Mm-hmm. Not that many people are behind the scenes doing it. Like I remember when I lived with you and L too, like she would help you like sew on yo tags and stuff like that. And that's probably the most help that we get as far as anything else goes. So we can't sit here and say we like, you know, we got these employees to take care of this and we doing this and doing that. It's like, nah, we doing everything. We on our computer and our laptop trying to figure out on YouTube, trying to figure out how to do this gradient this way and make it a 3D Revel and all that. Like, it's like so much more that goes into a brand and also being able to promote product too. Because I mean, just like you have that, then you got to book me. So you got to spend more money just to get the product to appeal. So it's like, bro, like it's a lot that goes into it, man. So like you said, if you're not passionate about it, don't even bother with it. If you want to drop it,
go do something else.
Yeah, go do something else, bro, because it's like you need to really like dive deep into it. It's the same with photography too. Like I feel like with this year, thanks to the circumstances me and you went to earlier this year, and then thanks to COVID, that's the only time I can say thanks to COVID, we were able to get a little bit more coin than what we were usually able to do. But it was a blessing because it was able to boost us to really dive into what we started as a hobby, but now we can see that it can obviously be our 9 to 5.
That step we wanted that situation to be really ended up being that step that needed to be like, okay, now I can like go do this for real. Because all this shit, this has been my full-time job. Like, I woke up after that the Voyage LA thing came out. I woke up like, this is it. Fucking like when I took time off, I think right before that was shit, when was that? Like 16, 17, I think. After like 16, 17, after I left Forever 21, and I took like an 8-9 month, the guy was like, all right, let me try and really do this shit. Even then it was waking up, getting on my computer, trying to design shit, reach out to people, whatever it was. So having that feeling again after the Voyage LA thing, I was like, all right, let me get right back to that and just fucking go. And it's benefited. Like I've seen the results of it. Like you said earlier in this, I had one of my idols in one of my shit to go get coffee and say, yo, I got you. I was like, oh damn, like.
And that was like right in like the spring or something, I think. I don't even think this was like your newest stuff yet either.
This was like, that was like springtime. It was like May.
Yeah, because your newer stuff been like I see the growth in it compared to like 17, 18. Like the growth is a lot different to the point where it's like you're really getting like your own look into it. Like you finding like colors that you want to mess with, and you finding like the LaVingt look of it, where it's not like where it's not like boxed in. Because I feel like a lot of newer stuff has been like a homage to your growth of a person, and that's why a lot of people fuck with it, because they like, yeah, I remember these days. Like my roommate one of your old friends used to play hockey with, he saw like the hats and the tees, and he like, oh yeah, I remember skating there. I remember doing that. And I feel like that's what's fire about having a brand, is that you can bring that nostalgia out of people and they can connect. Yeah. Because I feel like when you can connect with someone at a personal level, that's what makes like a brand that much better. And I feel like that's why people like brands like the Hundreds and Supreme and stuff like that too, is because they bring that nostalgia back. You know what I mean? They make Mike Tyson tees and like DeLorean tees and Uno tees and Hello Kitty collab. Like they do stuff where it's like, yeah, I'm interested in it. And it's a good job.
During the feeling, and that's one of the blessings I think that we got from having this break of COVID. I was now able to really just focus on this part of the shit that I want to do versus having to fucking solve everybody else's fucking issues.
Yeah.
Like in the tech side, just solving people's issues, having to figure this shit out. Like,
bro, that's all we did at Uber. Yeah, I'm done with this. It did drain us, bro. And that's why I took that break after, because who's the last brand I worked with? I think it was Supervision. And when I was working with Supervision, and then when that fell off and working at Uber, it was really hard for me to focus on my creativeness and me growing as a photographer. So I had to do like therapy and all that stuff too. So I feel like all of 2019, and I feel like that can kind of join with you too, because you also kind of took the same route of doing like the therapy and thing, trying to grow mentally and physically. So I feel like 2019 was that like that training course for this year. And then when we were and then when we was blessed with it, because I remember me and you, and when me and you got fired, we was cool. We was like, all right, whatever. Like everybody else crying, and I'm like, bro, like,
cool. Like shit, I'm about to go set up the spot now. Let's get to work.
I'm gonna go back to Cincinnati. I'm gonna rest a little bit, and I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna figure out what to do. And I feel like when we got let go, I didn't think of anything negatively. They paid us quite well. Yeah. And I feel like we used that money to make our brands a lot better. And I feel like that was successful, bro. And it's to the point now where this is paying, because I remember like in the summer when I was getting booked up in the summer and early fall, that was paying my rent. That was paying for my gold teeth and all that stuff. Like that paid for my car to get fixed up. I didn't even have to use the money that we got from Uber and stuff like that. That was all booking money. Yeah. And I'm like, that's fire, bro. Like to have months of rent saved based off of what you do as a hobby that's now turning into like a career is crazy. So
I say like that was really our step. Everything that we were working and hustling for there and going through bullshit was to get to this point. Like, to get these looks and really be able to focus on our brands and do what the fuck we want to do. I think it all was all in preparation of this. We've been prepping for this moment.
Yeah, exactly. We've always had that idea. Like we knew this day was gonna come in Cincinnati. Yeah, but I feel like taking that risk and just dealing with the punches, bro. Because me and you went through a lot, relationship-wise, house-wise, job-wise, car-wise. Like everything was like falling apart. You feel me? But we never sat there and cried. Like I remember you was right there with me when my car broke down. We didn't even start. Remember it was out of nowhere, and that car ran. I mean, I still got it, but that car never showed problems. And then one day out of nowhere, I go and start the button, and I'm calling the dude to see what the hell going on. Calling the tow truck service. They taking all day. We was there for like 4 hours, I think. Yeah. And I remember, like, I feel like that was my first point of showing my growth, because I remember like skateboarding around, like waiting for L2 to come up and stuff like that, and to take us home. And I wasn't stressed. I mean, I was pissed off because I'm like, damn, I got to spend money. But I feel like a lot of those trials that we went through showed our growth as maturing, as being men for one.
Definitely.
And that kind of showed that if we can deal with those real life issues so easily, that like being a creative and being told no is doing nothing but firing us up for the next gig.
Exactly.
So like when we handle those situations, I got told no plenty of times. I've got my DMs just sent on red. I'll text my idols and they'll be like, "Oh, let's link tomorrow." Then when it's tomorrow, they go ghost. But when you handle them so much better, it works. It's kind of like the complex situation. Not to tell the story, but basically that fell through.
Yeah.
But to be able to mature and show like some good vibes, that landed me the Agenda Fest gig just off that. So
just like the way that those come about, I think we've always, like, our group of friends have always prided ourselves on being in the conversations with other people and thinking of our friends like, oh, here's an opportunity for that
all the time.
And that's
all
like
the time.
one of those instances how that came around. And like I think that's how supervision came about too. Like having these things that our friends are doing and thinking of each other. Let's put our friends and shit in these positions so we all of us can be in the rooms talking to other people and then bring up our friends. Like I just did that with Wayne. I was with a writer to a hip hop website the other day, just playing on music. I was like, oh, here, you should actually check out this person, and ran through the discography. Like those are the things that we've always prided ourselves on. And I feel like that's what also sets us apart from a lot of people. Because I don't think a lot of people will do that.
And that's the reason why I love Kendall so much. Because if it wasn't for Kendall, I probably wouldn't even be in a circle with OPM and stuff. Just from him to be able to be like, yo, you want to be a PA on this video for, I think it was Brenda's baby. I think
it was Brenda's baby.
Bro, like everybody I met from there except for one, and you know her name. We all still cool to this day. Like those still like my best friends. Like Cass, CC, Jason. Like those still like one of the closest people I'm with. And like you said, it's just plugging people in, bro. Just being like, oh, I can't do it, but my homie can, or it's that simple. It don't take nothing, bro. And you still in the scene. I mean, you ain't lose nothing. You see, ain't nobody get pushed out or nothing like that. And that's what I feel like people should be okay with. Like if you can't do a certain thing, like I got a homie who can.
It's a fear with a lot of people, you know, where we're from. So like I think, you know, that really hinders people. Not saying that everyone does it or people that we know do it, but I think that's a thing that lingers around. It's a feeling, it's a fear that comes from where we are. And I think that's part of the culture there.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go back to working with not supervision, but OPM and everything. Having Kendall throw you the oop and have you connect and, you know, be on a set with one of your idols, man, like your favorite fucking rapper. Like, how did that feel and shit, coming to LA and then a couple of years later, like, oh shit, I'm a PA.
That wasn't even a couple years. That was the same year.
Was it?
Yeah, because I came September 2017 and that happened August 2018. So it wasn't even a full year yet. That wasn't even a full year, bro. And it was like when he sent that text using a group chat and he sent that text, I'm like, bro, I almost crashed my car. I'm like, bro, yeah. Like I remember where I was. I was right on I was coming from Hollywood, just passing Gower. And I'm like, yo, passing at Roscoe's. I'm like, bro, what, bro? Like he was like, yeah, the homie Jason. I'm like, Jason Madison, like the dude who was on like Watermelon Sunday, like him, bro, yes. And I remember as soon as he sent me the number, he texted me. And that's funny too, because I remember I was heading back to Hollywood. I think I was probably going to work or something like that. I remember going past the same street and he texted me and he sent me the whole little like what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. Whatever the little sheet is, that call sheet. That was the first time I seen a call sheet. I'm like, what is this, bro? And bro, like just being on set and like I said, that's when I first met Jason. I remember like J305 and him was there. Like that was my first time meeting him. I think I was playing his song too, that YG. What was that? The same YG, why you so stressed out? Whatever the song, it was him. And then I remember I had it in my Sonata because I was a PA at the time, so I had to run around and do all the shit. And I remember I just had the car running, and I had my windows down, and it was on his verse. And I remember coming out with like the little shopping list that Jason gave me to go pick out, and he just outside the car rapping his whole verse. And I'm like, bro, like this is crazy because I'm like, I'm seeing these dudes, we singing You a Flip and all that in the club back in Cincinnati, and he right here rapping the song, and it's like you do that, then Dom pull up, he cool as hell. I got on like my Reds hat and stuff. He already talking about like the Reds and shit, me and him chatting, and then like I somehow get pulled into making a scene with Nicole. Like if you go back to the Brenda's baby video, like near the end, it's like a scene where it's like light shining through, and that's a scene that we made.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that was like my first thing. The only thing that pissed me off about that video was that Sunday we was working like 2 hours overtime. And it was like 10:30. And I'm like, bro, I gotta go to sleep. You feel me? I was still living with you. So I'm like, I know you get up at like 5. So I'm like, bro, I gotta go home and go to bed. And as soon as I left, they did a scene and everybody that was working in the video was in the video. I'm like, damn. But when I got the pick before I left, bro. I'll never forget it. I wore the Bengals jersey. He had the Dodgers jersey on. And I was like, this is literally the most fire photo I've ever taken because it showed like my Cincinnati pride being in LA. Because you know, when a lot of people come to LA, they change.
Yeah.
But it's me still being a Cincinnati boy. I'm wearing all my Reds hats. I'm wearing all my Bengals gear at these LA video shoots in Compton with a Reds hat on, not Karen. And he's still showing love the whole time. He take the pic. When I posted that pic, bro, I almost cried because I'm like, this is what I wanted to do, bro. This is who I came and wanted to work with. This is who I came and always like. I thought that was like the pinnacle of goals. I thought it was like, you know, if you see a whole list of goals and it's 10 through run, he number 1 with a goal like thing around it, and I jumped all up to get there. It was fire, bro. Like I might have to buy Kendall a birthday cake or something just to celebrate that because it grew, bro. Like Jason hit me up for every video that they do with anything OPM or Don Kennedy related. I can't make them to all of them now, but the few that I've been on, bro, has just been like fire because it's getting to the point now where he knows who I am.
Yeah.
And Don Kennedy, my favorite rapper. He always been. It's been like 10 years. To have him, because I think you had this as one of the questions, so I ain't gonna go to that question, but to see him pull up to this event and grab me by the shoulder and, be like, "What's up, champ? You be everywhere now." That like
that's everything.
that's like it, bro. Like you can't tell me nothing now. You feel me? Like he be reposting my stuff on his gram now. That's all. There's no money in the world. Well, it kind of is, but it's to be corny. There's no money in the world that can match that, bro. It's just to be at work and your phone blowing up, and then you look through your whole thing and it say "Dope as Dom" tagged you and or "Dope as Dom" mentioned you, and it's like, bro,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
Best says, yeah. So I was gonna go. That was gonna be the next thing. The big other thing you shot for.
What shot for?
Where that you shot for Sean's party.
Oh, the Big Sean party.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell you the whole story or just the?
No, go ahead. Tell the story.
Okay. So basically, how that I can't say basically how that happened.
What happened was
me and Zeno been friends for a long time, internet friends actually, and I remember one time it basically. Let me just fast forward to Big Sean. I don't want to tell the whole story, but he copped some of my merch, and we got the kicking and stuff like that too. And the vibe was cool, bro. He was a cool dude. And one day at work, it was like September or something like that. I remember seeing like earlier that week, like Big Sean's come out with an album. I'm like, oh, that's fire. You feel me? Like, let's go. Big Sean came out with an album in a little minute. Mm-hmm. And everybody was promoting it. I'm like, oh, this might be a banger. You feel me? And I'm just at work, like just going through all the tweets, like Big Sean, Big Sean, Big Sean, Big Sean. All of a sudden, I get a text from Zeno like, yo, you trying to do this event tonight? And it's Thursday. You feel me? I'm like, the event tonight? Like, what event would be tonight? Big Sean shit? I'm like, bro, like, don't tell me this is to shoot Big Sean's album release party, bro. Like, I already knew that's what he's going to say. And so you can't tell Zeno no. I might have to make a shirt that say that. You can't tell Zeno no. Because me and him, I want to do a collab with him anyway. And he's like, man, like, it's a little like album release dinner. It's gonna be really small and quaint. You feel me? Like it ain't gonna be big.
Because use the word quaint.
I had to fit that in there. He's like, it's gonna be real small. He's like, bro, it's gonna be private. Like it's gonna be so small you can't even get a +1. I'm like, bro, I'm in there. Like, and before the thing was, I was kind of. The thing was like when you in LA, you kind of sometimes you lose sight of why you there, and I almost lost sight. I almost text him, bro. I'm at work. I can't do it.
Bro. just texted us that because we were all texting at the group chat, and you were like,
yeah, I sent it to y'all first. I'm like, bro,
go.
yeah.
Go.
That's kind of how it was when I asked you if I should go to Ray J's house for the Grammy party. And he was like, bro, what? Go. 2020 been crazy. That's enough. We'll get to that story if you want to. But bro, he texted me that. I'm like, bro, like I text y'all first, and y'all was like, bro, if you don't go, like you fucking fooling. I'm like, I am fooling. Like you right, bro. Like, and I text him, I'm like, bro, I'm going. Like I'm there. Like I'm there. I was like, what time's the party? He was like, it started like 8. We going to like 11. I'm like, damn. Like my break about to come up. I was like, I gotta charge my camera battery real quick, my flash battery. So I'm in my mind thinking of all the times. I told my boss straight up, I'm like, yo, to be honest with you, Dave, I gotta go. Like, I just got booked to shoot Big Sean's wedding. I'm leaving. I mean, not wedding, my bad. His album release party. I'm leaving. He's like, bro, get the fuck out of here. He was like, bro, go. He's like, go. I was like, bet. So I had like I walked a little delivery robot back to the station. Somebody switched me, dipped all the way back here, bro. Charged everything. I took a quick nap. I was tired. I was up from like 7 a.m. Took a quick little 10-minute nap, drove down, and bro, as soon as I got there, I'm shaking because it brought me back to the first time me and you shot. It was like it felt like I was my first time shooting, bro. And it was another photographer there. It's like the photographer. He fired. His name is 70 millimeter. His Instagram like 70 millimeter. Yeah, he fired, bro. He was cool as hell. Me and him start chatting. You know, we start talking about cameras and shit. I'm like, bro, to be honest with you, I'm nervous as fuck. He was like, for what? I was like, bro, I've never taken like pictures like this. Like, I've never done an album release party, bro. Like, I've never done it. He was like, man, just take the pictures, man. Like, he was like, everybody know why you here. So just take the pictures, you feel me? Like, that's it. His advice ain't work. I'm like, I just shook it off. I'm like, I'm still nervous. So I get to Zeno. I'm like, Zeno, man, to be honest with you, I'm nervous, bro. He's like, what you nervous for, bro? I was like, man, I ain't used this flash yet. I ain't used this camera at night yet. He was like, hey, bring some champagne over here. Dude come out with like a whole plate of champagne. He just give me like 2 cups. He's like, drink this, you be all right. And he was like, bro, he like tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, bro, I got you here because I believe in you. He was like, if the pictures show up trash, it's okay. He's like, we gonna work on them. But he's like, but the thing is, they not gonna show up trash. That's why we paid you to come here. I'm like, all right, bro, bet. And as soon as that conversation stop, Hit Boy come walking in. As soon as Hit Boy come walking in, he's about to shake Zeno's hand. Zeno's like, yo, this is the photographer for the night. His name is Barnsey. He gonna flick you up. As soon as he said that, Hit Boy was like, oh, bro, let's do some shots right now. Come on. So I'm like, bet. So I'm taking his pictures, you know, for the night, and I'm starting to get loose. You feel me? And then the thing is, me and Hit Boy somehow become friends. He give me his number. He like, bro, text me, bro. We gonna take photos all the time and shit like that too. Like, send me them right now. I'm like, I'm kind of under contract. I don't know if I can do this, but I mean, Zeno didn't get mad. Shout out to him. And so I sent him the photos that whole night, bro. I mean, it's still awkward, but I'm still feeling a little bit more at home because like people starting to talk with me. Like, shout out to Vito. Shout out to all those people. They really started to like make me feel like I was a part of the team. So it made me do video and pictures a lot better. I still got video. I ain't never even released it yet. But I can't release a lot of stuff. It's got to be approved. And bro, everybody walked through. Like I'm taking like Big Sean come through. I'm taking pictures of him. I'm taking pictures of like some people who is big in the entertainment thing, and I'm taking pics of them. And just like I told you, well, I mean, I'm gonna tell you the worst thing that happened at night. Though my flash died, bro. That's what pissed me off. So I had to go pay for parking, and I had to go get my flash ready. And I told Zeno, like, bro, hurry up, bro, like, cause Janae about to come. I'm like, Janae, like, you feel me, like. I'm like, bruh, come on. I didn't know she was supposed to be there. So I'm going to run into my car to hurry up and not get a ticket.
And you're light on your feet, so that was a quick.
I was gone, but I was floating, bro. I floated down and was back. But the thing was, I couldn't run too much because I didn't want to be in that bitch sweating. You feel me? So I'm like, damn. And so I come back, bro. I'm chilling. I'm like, all right, Zeno, I just got my thing. He's like, bro, hurry up with the flash. She about to pull up. I'm like, damn. And like while he's saying that, he like called a waiter over again. He like, bro, get the photographer something to eat. Because keep in mind, it's only me and 70 as a photographer. And it's like 20 people there. It's small. So they get us some food. all of a sudden I'm mid taco bite, and I feel this earthly presence, bro. Like what the hell is this feeling, bro? You feel me? Like it was like a spiritual animal just came in and just absorbed all the negative energy you had and just turned it into a ball and just threw it in the trash for you, bro. And I looked over and it's Janae. And I'm like, bro, like I'm just like, you feel me? And just for background, because you posted this, right? You posted this?
Yeah, it's getting posted.
Okay, so just for background, anybody who's looking at this, like 10 years ago, I tweeted Janae that me and her might be kin. And we had like this Twitter conversation. She was like, we are. Like, you from this your daddy, blah, blah. Yeah, we are. This was like in 2010 or 11, something like that. And we never talked, so I never get to meet her. So this is my first time meeting her. And so I'm taking her pictures, and they was fire. I can't wait till she and Zeno approve those because I'll be able to cry, happy tears. I might make that into a shirt too. Zeno, can you approve this, please? And I was about to leave, and I'm like, bro, like it was her and Big Sean. I'm like, man, Big Sean, can I ask Janae something? Like, I don't want to be weird. He's like, man, go ahead, because like Big Sean, we already talked that we met each other and stuff at corporate and all that stuff, so we was already cool. I was like, Janae, I don't know if you remember this, but like 10 years ago, me and you tweeted each other that we was like family. She was like, wait, you're from Cincinnati? I was like, yeah. She was like, what's your name? And I said, Barnsey. And she was like, that doesn't have anything to do with Barnes, right? I'm like, yeah, my last name is Barnes. And like, we went through this whole thing, this whole family tree of shit. And before I walk away, should I say, I was like, yeah, we might be cousins. She was like, no, we're cousins. We're family. I was like, I mean, yeah. And she like grabbed my hand and she was like, look me dead. And I was like, we're family. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm not about to argue with you. Hey, you feel me? Like, she's saying. You feel me? So I'm like, bro, let's go. So the whole night, she like calling me little cousin and stuff like that too. Like, that video when she got everybody in her room and shit, and stuff, bro. Like, she was cool taking pictures with me and the selfies with me. That's why I was going to always be my Abby. And it's like, right after that moment, that's when Dom come in. And that's why I was telling you when he grabbed his shoulder and he's like, man, you everywhere, champ. And he shook my hand and we talking about the video that just dropped. What is it called? Basement Freestyle, I think. That was shot at the liquor store. Fire video too. Shout out to Jason. That's probably one of my favorite videos of his. Besides the grounding video. And just to have those conversations with him where we like, yeah, man, like he telling me the video, how it's gonna look. And I was telling him I was gonna send him the BTS stuff and me and him talking. And I'm like, bro, I would never think back in like 2010 and 11 when I'm listening to like 25th Hour that I would be able to have a conversation about him being a creative. And that night, bro, was just like the best night ever, to be honest with you. And it's like, I will never forget that night. I will never not be thankful for Zeno for giving me that opportunity too. Because those pictures, man, I was up till like 2 or 3 in the morning editing pictures. And he was such a good person to work with because it's like he's in the industry, he's busy, but he still took the time off to approve pictures from like Hit Boy and Dom and Big Sean to post in the quickness. And he made sure I was paid too. He was like, talk to this dude, he'll see you the checks. They got him wrong at first, but they fixed him. And you know, he made me grow as being like a professional because he had me sign these contracts. He had me do like these tax forms and shit. And I'm like, bro, like no one has ever done this with me. Like they always send me like the DocuSign, but they never sent me like the back end of a lot of stuff like he did it. And that's what made me really see like, damn, bro, this can really go somewhere as far as like being a photo guy. And it was just fire, bro. Like, and it didn't, if anything, our relationship grew a little better because, you know, I FaceTime him all the time and we have good conversations. And we just like, bro, let's just hang out sometime. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna come through the crib. You feel me? I'm gonna get a workout in with you. Like, it's definitely made it grow. So like that night, that was like what, early September. That was like September 7th type beat or something like that. Just to see like that very next day, Hit Boy posted photos. And I text him like, make sure you tag me. He tags me. I put the photos of Dom up. He tagged me. You feel me? So it's like, it was just crazy, bro. And I feel like that night was the night that I've always looked for in Cincinnati, where I'm like, this is the day. Like, this is when I know, I don't want to say I made it, but it definitely shows that I can be in those rooms with people and be able to vibe, be able to network, and still be able to get my work done and give people good product. And ever since then, like my family, like everybody, like we so proud of you. You feel me? Like you do so good. Like we used to be so scared when you first moved out there, but to see what you're doing now is great. Having your friends back home call you legends. A4P always say he gonna quit his job every time somebody tag me or repost something. So it's like, bro, like that night alone, like gave me so much spirit and hope to like keep going. And as I'm saying, 2020, fuck COVID, but dog, like you was shitty for the most part, but you definitely showed up on half the times. Just to like, yeah. So, but that's it, man. That's probably one of my favorite stories and favorite shoots I've ever done. And I might get that whole date tatted on me or something, bro. I don't know.
You gotta do something. You gotta do a whole merch capsule for that.
Man, as long as I can get it approved, bro. And they've been good with the approvals too. Like I'll just hit them and be like, "Can I post this?" And they'd be like, "Nah, because this person looks like that in the background," or "Nah, or they'll be like, "Yeah, you can post that, but just don't post this. Crop this out." So they've been good with the approvals, even with like a signed contract and stuff too. But I don't really like to post every single thing that I do because I feel like that turns into like a billboard for other people. And I kind of want to just show like my favorite things I've done on my Instagram. So I have a bunch of stuff on my draft that I ain't posted. So one day I probably just do like a little IG story or make like I said, make a little 2020 book about it.
Man, we're gonna have to do a gallery. I got the gallery idea. We gotta get that off.
Man, and to be honest with you too, like that's another goal of mine because I got like a high chart of goals. Some of them already been done, but the last few is a billboard on Sunset. That's mine because we already been on a billboard. I think he was on there too, weren't you? I thought you was on a trailer at least, weren't you, for the Meek Mill thing? So
I got cropped out of the billboard.
That's crazy because I text her. I'm like, bro, make sure we on the billboard. And she put a lot of us on there though. She put like Kendall in the trailer, like Curtis was on the trailer in the billboard. She put me, Daryl, Jakari. I think Curtis on the bill. Yeah, so it's like she showed love as much as she could. So I appreciate her for that. But I don't count that as my billboard though. Like to be on Times Square is fire. You said what?
But we need a billboard. Our homies need billboards.
Real shit. Bro. Like we need like that Sunset billboard. Like you can get a billboard on La Brea. That's who cares? Now I want it on the main street. I want it on Sunset. I want that bitch on like Ventura. I want it on the real busy streets. You feel me? So when I see that, bro, I'm crying. So that's one of them. And going back home and doing a gallery with Dom because I always wanted to do a gallery. I was gonna do like a merch drop, and I was gonna have him perform in the merch. And if that gets complete,
it's game over. Can't tell me.
I might just put the camera down, bro.
Playing with me.
It's a wrap, bro. Like it's a wrap. If I'm still shooting, you got to pay some coin. Yeah. If I'm not, that's gonna be a good time to retire my camera.
The bag will be going up. Everyone's bag,
bro. The bag already done went up now. It already went up now. If you want the shoot, I'm still charging low prices though. To be honest with you, I'm still not busting heads. But
that day will come for everyone.
It will come, bro. Eventually, you're gonna see like a Kanye picture or something like that up. Mm-hmm. that price from going from 100 to 150 an hour. That price is going. That's gonna be like a $350 an hour, 2 hours minimum. Like ahead of time type shit, bro. Like it's about to go crazy.
Thanks for doing this check-in with me, bro. This was good.
No, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you for making me the first one, bro. I'm about to go and play some Call of Duty. And
hey, man. Speaking of games, I still apologize for cutting the Xbox off.
Oh, putting my cut off my Grand Theft Auto, man, and then right at the end of the hardest heist. I still ain't beat that heist. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, my apologies. But yeah, like I said, thanks for checking with me. Of course, I wanted to come to my man's first to do the first episode. I thought it'd be good. Good talk, because I haven't seen you for. I've seen you like
Yeah, bro.
twice in the past like 8 months or some shit like that. I'm just seeing you like every day, all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is weird. It's an adjustment, bro. I don't see nobody no more. So
Shit, man. Good talking to you, bro. We're gonna have to link up soon, go get something to eat, something before all this shit completely shuts down.
yeah, bro.
Get takeout, eat on the car somewhere.
Yeah, bro.
So I'll talk to you.
All right, bro. I got you. I got you, bro. All right, bro. I appreciate you. I'll see you.
Yeah, for sure, man. Have a good rest of your day, my guy.
All right, man.
Peace.
All right, bro. You too.